How do we judge other people and their behaviors? There are 3 determining factors according to the attribution theory. So here is a real story. This really happened. One day, I showed up to give a lecture in a classroom, but there was already another class in there. So I asked the lecturer to come out, and I told him very politely that I was scheduled there to teach, and all of my students were already waiting outside. Now, what would normally happen is that this teacher would say, okay, just one more minute, let me just wrap things up. They're gonna finish the lecture and vacate the room. But this lecturer had the nerve to ask me to take all of my students and go somewhere else, even though we were scheduled to be in that classroom. So I just got a little angry. I said, I'm not going to even talk to you anymore. I will speak to your students. I brushed them aside. I walked into the classroom. I told his students that I had a lecture there and that they needed to leave. And this lecturer was mad. So he lodged an official complaint to the dean of my faculty. He was not from my faculty, he worked for some other school of the university. Anyway, so a few days later, I got called into the big corner office of my dean, who showed me the complaint and asked me what happened there. So I told him the story essentially the same way I just told it to you. And I also said to my dean, you can talk to my students. They were there, they saw everything, they know what happened, and they can tell you. So another few days later, I was called to the dean's office again, and he told me, don't worry about that complaint. I trust you, I know you, I've known you for years, he said, and I know the kind of person you are. What happened was not your fault. Okay, I'm not telling the story because I am so proud of what happened. I mean, I certainly could have handled the situation better. But the question I want to focus on today is why didn't my dean attribute the problem and my overly assertive behavior to me? What could have been the reasoning behind his thinking? The attribution theory says when it comes to judging the cause for one's behaviors, there are 3 important determining factors: distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency. Distinctiveness refers to if one displays different behaviors in different situations. Consensus refers to whether others who face a similar situation would act in the same way. And consistency refers to if the same person would act in the same manner over time to similar type of cues. Let's apply these 3 factors to my story here to judge whether I should be blamed for my angry behaviors or not. Factor number 1, distinctiveness. In other words, am I someone who always get angry with others and lose my temper and become overly assertive with colleagues at work, or was my angry behavior rather out of character? Well, of course the latter. I am Asian. Let's just go with the stereotypes for once. Everybody knows that as an Asian guy, I am nice, I always say yes, I am good at math, I drive very slowly, and I have a tiny little penis. These are just facts, okay? You can confirm this with Steve Harvey. As an Asian guy, I am unattractively nice. So of course my angry behavior was distinctive. It was completely out of character. And when distinctiveness is high, according to the attribution theory, one should conclude that the cause for the behavior was external. In other words, I did not want to be angry and act assertively. I did so because of an external trigger. So this is factor number 1. Now factor number 2, consensus. Would others have behaved the same way I did? Well, the answer is probably leaning towards a yes. I mean, think about it. If you are a lecturer and you show up at work with all of your papers and materials to teach in a classroom for which you are officially scheduled by the university and your students are also there waiting to enter, and then the teacher who is not supposed to be using that room actually asks you to take all of your stuff and take all of your students to go search for a room somewhere else, well, they continue to use the classroom that's been scheduled for you. Wouldn't you get angry? At the least, wouldn't you get upset? So I would argue that in this situation, consensus would be high. And a high consensus also indicates that the cause for an individual's behavior is external. And finally, factor number 3, consistency. Would I have behaved the same way again if the same situation were to occur? Well, naturally not. As I said earlier, I had already realized that I could have handled the situation differently. In fact, the same kind of things did happen several times since then: double booking of classrooms, conflicts of university schedules, and I handled them all very differently. And those are very interesting stories that I might want to tell you in another video someday. But the fact of the matter is consistency would be low in my case. And low consistency, according to the attribution theory, would indicate the cause for my behavior that day was again external. So, in view of all these 3 factors, distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency, a reasonable person would have attributed the cause and trigger for my behaviors to be external instead of internal, and thereby concluding that I was not to blame for what happened that day. I was very glad that this was the way my dean saw things. By the way, my dean was not a psychologist. He actually studied law, so he was a lawyer by training. But he clearly had an insight to these psychological theories, and he understood how people think and feel. And if my former dean happens to be watching this video, let me say, thank you, sir, for the way you handled that complaint. And if that lecturer who I kicked out of the room happens to be watching this video, let me say, sorry about that. I was not trying to embarrass you in front of your students. I was simply trying to do my job. That's all. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching this video. Do you think I did something wrong in this case? What do you think I should have done? Leave me a comment below. Leave me a supportive comment below, because that's what friends do. We support each other. Alright, I hope you find this video interesting and informative. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. As usual, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video.